It's gravity.
Well, good morning, guys. I know it's been a while since I made a video. Um, well, anywho, I decided to make a video today because I saw an interesting topic. It was talking about Planned Parenthood. I wanted to talk about it just a brief second because I think a lot of people was, taught or told that Planned Parenthood is a good thing. And you know what? For some people, it was a good thing. And it is a good thing for them. But for some, it was not. Excuse me. A lot of people haven't, a lot of people nowadays don't really take the time to do their research about certain companies and certain businesses and to see what their real mission and what they are trying to instill in people and stuff like that. A lot of people they feel that, oh well, because they said this and it sounds good to me, then it's legit. Guys, you have to take the time to do your research on certain brands and certain companies to see what their real motive is. Over the past year, I've realized that a lot of things that we thought was good and is okay for people is really not okay. When you actually sit and look at the documents and read that stuff, you find out that, oh my gosh, wow, it will blow your mind at what really their mission is. Like Planned Parenthood. I'm thinking Planned Parenthood is like this place where you can go to and they give you stuff to protect yourself and they help you, control having all those babies. Because, there's lots of people out here who are having babies after babies after babies. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, Planned Parenthood is a good thing, right? After looking at a couple of documents and reading their background of what they really are about, I come to find out, and it made me feel very uneased to hear this, is that their whole mission was to get rid of the unfit. They felt that there is more of a superior race, and since they felt that this particular race was more superior, that they would try to have them have more babies, but the ones that they felt was not a good fit, or they feel that was unfit, they would tell them to go and get abortions or go get their tubes tied or go, to have them stop having babies. And for some people, they only had one child and then they were forced to have abortions, and some were forced to have or get their tubes tied or whatever. And then on top of that, a lot of the Planned Parenthood clinics were placed in areas that were not what you call a middle class area. They were put more in places where there was a lot of government housing, a lot of prostitution, those type of areas, as some people will call them, ghettos. Areas that you would be like, okay, you don't want to go in that side of town, because if you go in that side of town, okay, we're going to have an issue. Well, I personally have not dealt with Planned Parenthood, but after doing the research with them and seeing what their real motive was, to come to find out, a lot of the founder of Planned Parenthood, she pretty much got all her ideas from the Germans. And we all know about the Germans and how the Nazis tried to kill off the Jews by just, they felt like the Jews were not a fit race to be here, so they tried to kill them off. If you really think about it, they tried to do the same thing over here, but tried to cover it up as if this is a nice, friendly clinic to help people, when really they were trying to kill off the minority race and keep the majority. I'm not trying to come this. I don't want this video to be a racist thing because it really isn't. But if you really think about it and really look into the research about it, this was pretty much the eugenics, what is it called? Eugenics movement, where their whole mission was to pick which race would be best and have that race to flourish. And I'm just gonna flat out say, it's the whites, okay? They were the superior race, okay? They still are. And they will have them have more babies. They will try, keep having babies, keep having babies. But for us black folks and for us Mexicans, for the Mexicans and the blacks and everybody else that's not, dominant, they didn't want them to have too many kids. They limit them. Like if they had one or two, then they were like, well, you ever thought of getting your tubes tied? Did you ever think about doing this? Did you ever think about getting that? Which, of course, slows down the generation and the flow of our people coming into this world. In other words, they were trying to kill our race off. They were trying to kill everybody who was unfit to be here. They were trying to kill them off. Me and my dad had this topic before because my dad, in the beginning, he had 4 or 5 sons. All of them were aborted. And around the time frame where that stuff was going on, where it was really coming up for Planned Parenthood, I think he did get affected by that because all his kids got aborted. He didn't know nothing about it until years later. He finds out about Planned Parenthood, and now he's like, wow, they will probably be the reason why I don't have any kids, my sons now. Thankfully, he has 4 daughters, but when you have daughters is one thing, but when you have sons to carry on your name, it's heartbreaking, especially for a male. Some males would be probably okay with this, but most males, they want a son, at least one, to carry on their name. My dad, unfortunately, doesn't have that one individual or a son to actually carry on his name of Eatman from his line. It stops at me and my sisters. But of course, all of our names have changed unless me and my younger sister's names change because we're married, but the other 2 aren't. So it continues on, but at the same time, it's nothing like having a son to carry your last name. And when your kids are being killed off in that matter, it's heartbreaking. When reading that information about Planned Parenthood and how they tried to do that and how back then it was really evident that that's what they were doing. Now I think they kind of slowed down a little bit. I think a lot of people are a lot more educated as far as what their mission is. I go past a Planned Parenthood clinic all the time. And I don't live in a ghetto area or whatever you want to call it. I live in the suburbs. And I go past it all the time, and I never really see nobody there. It's always empty. Always. But the point of the matter is that the whole reason for this video is that I want people to take the time to read. Get your information about what you're getting yourself into. Read the history behind it. Get as much knowledge about whatever that you're reading. Because you cannot just take what people say and take what the commercial says and say, oh, well, they mean well. No. Do your research. Planned Parenthood is not what it's cracked up to be. It's not. It's not what it's cracked up to be. You need to do your research. It's hurtful and it hurts. And it makes you feel uncomfortable to know that you were a target to be erased. It's not a good feeling. It sucks. You know, just to know that everybody matters. Everybody matters in this world, and everybody has a position in this world to do something great. But to know that some people feel that we don't matter. And I'm not just speaking for the blacks. I'm speaking for blacks, Mexicans, whoever you want to, anybody. To feel like, period, you just don't matter. It's like heartbreaking. And, you know, racism is still going on to this day. And I'm not going to really get into that because that's a very touchy subject. But I just mainly made this video for people to understand y'all need to do your research. You need to research yourself. Stop taking what other people say about this and that or whatever and just run with it. A lot of people can take things and misconstrue it and change it and modify it according to what they think it is. And really, it's not what it really means. Do your research. Planned Parenthood had an agenda. The agenda was no different from what the Germans did to the Jews. It was the same, except Germany was a lot more bold about it. We kind of systematically did it to make it seem like it was okay, but really it wasn't. And I saw that article talking about that Planned Parenthood is worse than ISIS. I wouldn't go as far as that. But at the same time, I understand what he's trying to say. I don't think it's worse than ISIS. ISIS has much bigger problems than Planned Parenthood. But in regards to killing folks, I think that's where he was coming from with that remark. And a lot of people are very angry about that, you know. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to have whiplash. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have people who's going to say something about it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have angry comments, racist comments, or whatever. Who cares? My thing is that I just want people to take the time to do your research. And it doesn't matter if you're black, Mexican, white, Jew, German. It doesn't matter at all. I don't look at race. I look at the person, the individual. And as an individual and as people, we need to do our own individual studies and study our information for ourselves and not just take the word from someone else. Do your research. Simple as that. A lot of people perish for the lack of knowledge. When you don't know nothing, but you only follow what other people say, majority of the times we lose because we just don't know. We need to educate yourself, educate your kids, educate your sons, educate your daughters. Unfortunately, I didn't have any daughters. I have all boys. We have to educate our kids to know better. Our generation now looks very crazy right now compared to how it was back then. It's proven, it's shown. I mean, violence, all this other stuff. Guys, take the time to educate your kids. Please. And for those people who didn't know, or those people who wasn't taught to do that, it's never too late to start. Start now. Start today. Educate your kids so they will know. So when they go out there, they won't be so gullible for the first thing that somebody says to them that sounds nice. That is a good and legit thing. Because not some things might look pretty on the outside, but in the inside, it really isn't all that great for you. So I hope this video encourages somebody. I know it's been a while since I made a video. I've been very busy, very congested, sick. Texas, their weather just fluctuates back and forth. 1 minute it's cold, 1 minute it's warm. It just throws me off. But I hope this video encourages somebody, and I hope people will take the time out to do research and understand what a lot of these companies out here are for. just in regards to food and fitness and the food and stuff like that. Do your research, guys. If you do your research, you will understand that a lot of these foods out here are out here to kill us. It's not helping us. If anything, this food is killing us off. Proven fact. And that one has nothing to do with race. That's just flat out people. Killing us off. And people just think it's just good. No. We got to do better, guys. We have to do better. Do your research. I hope you have a blessed day.